I have a special hospice story that I would like to share. We had gotten a referral on a 41-year-old patient that had been told there was nothing else they could do. And after we had reviewed that referral, we said, because it had come out on a weekend, the hospice clinical manager spoke up and said, I really feel I should go out to see this patient. He looked at me and said, I would rather go out and do this because this 41-year-old not only was facing the end of life, she had a 6-year-old child. He went out, it was the weekend before Thanksgiving. All the family was there. And they were celebrating Thanksgiving because they were not sure that she would make it to Thanksgiving. During that assessment of that 41-year-old patient, the 6-year-old child never left her bedside, was laying beside his mother, and each and every time that the clinical manager tried to finish the assessment, the little son would reach over and look up like, "Don't touch my mother." He said it was probably one of the hardest things that he had ever done, trying to explain to that 6-year-old what he was doing step by step. After we got her admitted, of course, as we do with the IDG team review, each and every week we went into that review with the medical director and we talked about all of the patients, but this one patient was pretty special to us because she had done one thing. She had accomplished her goal and she had made it through Thanksgiving. But she had all of a sudden become extremely, extremely sick. Her goal then was to get through Christmas. I want to see my son celebrate Christmas. So about 2 weeks into it, we were all in IDG. We looked at the medical director, and again, the passion overflowed. There was not a dry eye in the team meeting, and we all said the same thing to our medical director. We've got to do something to get her through Christmas. We did IV fluids every day. It was all about quality, spending time with her family, and we made it happen. Several days pass, and now the same patient, still getting fluids periodically, says, "I've got to make sure that my son's taken care of. He's 6, and I want my sister to take over the care of my son." So of course the team all together, we all said, what can we do? What can we do? She needed a notary to get papers legalized. They spent a half of a Saturday, went to the patient's home, got the document notarized, went to the child's biological father. He got his signature notarized, done deal. Patient that Monday, very excited, had a little bit more life in her. Said to the nurse, "Thank you." That's why I tell it as my personal story, because it was really dear to me. I was in the area at Manville Rehab, and something told me I wanted to go by to see this patient. I walked through those doors with that patient's mother hugging my neck after I'd introduced myself as the branch director. She told me what a great job each person that had been in her daughter's home had done. And I looked to see this patient laying in the bed, looked very, very sick, but had a smile that stretched from ear to ear. I told her, I said, "You look beautiful." She reached with her hands and clutched her chest after she had tried to actually give me a handshake. And she said, "You're the beautiful one." Now it's 3 days into no food, has not wanted any IV fluids. And the nurse says to me, "Christy, what is it? Have we missed something?" She said, "Tomorrow's her birthday." The nurse is telling me tomorrow is the patient's birthday. She wants to live to see 42. I say back to the nurse, "She'll be here." What can we do for this patient? She's actively dying, and she knows this, and she's accepted it. But what can we do for this patient? Tomorrow's her 42nd birthday. Immediately, I call and get the volunteer services involved, and we've got to do something for this 6-year-old child. There's nothing materialistic that we could give the patient, but we could leave him a memory. So the volunteer immediately gets en route, goes and takes some pictures of the patient and her son, that she agreed to do and takes handprints. They're 2 handprints, which is worth 1,000 memories to not only that child, but us at Alacare. The pictures are done. She loves orange. We send her a beautiful orange bouquet of flowers. The chaplain made a visit. He said, man, she really is a different lady. Several days later, we lost that patient. The nurse attends the funeral. This is in Mississippi. She texts me from the funeral to say, they are screaming from the pulpit, Alacare Hospice. Without Alacare Hospice, we couldn't have done this. That's why I do what I do.